Okay, again, who's to say later on he still won't be working these crazy schedules? Of course, over time he's trying to get a day side, but that's not the point. We don't know what could happen, and so sorry. So I feel, so I just thought about that and was like, I know I wouldn't be a good mom with two. And definitely doing this where things can get highly stressful, doing vacations. I'm like, and so I just, I know who I am, like I said, and what I'm not. Also, too, I had therapy at 16, and I did that on my own. I knew I needed it, dealing with some childhood trauma. And then I had therapy again at 21, and because a college roommate of mine at the time kind of pushed me and said, you need to go back and complete it, or you need some more, and I think me doing therapy twice, and working on some of the things has also helped me become a better mother because of that. Because of my childhood trauma, I think, and so, even watching some of the adults, I knew what to do and what not to do. I watched them and just kind of doing some therapy and planning my daughter also helped me. Of course, I understand things happen. For example, I planned my daughter, but we knew that at the time he was in the military. We knew, especially after 9/11, there's no such thing as really planning. In the military, you can plan, but you don't know what could happen. But we planned for the variables. I said, let's get pregnant now. Got off the pill. We tried. A month later, I was pregnant. And, again, we planned for the variables. 4 months into my pregnancy, he announces, I'm going to Afghanistan for a year, probably after she's born. I'll be going next year because she'll already be born. We're going next year for a whole year. And so, of course, I was like, oh, my God. But at the same time, it's just something we planned. It was like, that's a variable. We knew that was going to happen. And at the same time, I still purposely got pregnant because, first of all, I was in Hawaii. And everybody who knows anything about Hawaii, the community is very family-oriented here. The culture here is so completely different from the mainland. So I knew, regardless, I was still going to have the baby here because I know what I was going to have my baby, bring my child into. Also, too, his parents retired here. Yes, they were still working. They were still working. They still are now. Well, no, his dad is actually officially retired. But at the time, they were retired, but they were still working. And he is Japanese American. And I don't know if you know anything about Asian culture. They're very much into family, very much into bringing on some type of generational wealth or just heirloom or something. They're really into, like, everybody is involved in that child's upbringing. Everybody. And it could be overwhelming for me sometimes. But still, I wasn't too devastated because I'm like, I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay because I have that support system. So, and I think one of the smartest decisions I ever did was knowing who I wanted to father my child, and I planned my child. Even accounting for the variables, and I feel like that's what makes me a really good mom because I had this vision. And again, there's still some things I also need to work on. Again, this is why I say the sense of self, who I am. I'm working on my listening. And my daughter calls me on it, which I love. I'm not raising my daughter with the children should be seen, heard, like that bull crap, that's, no. I don't know anybody who's doing that anymore because we're reading more, we're a little bit more knowledgeable about child development now than our folks were. I'm not raising her like that. Again, I need, going back to what I need to work on my listening skills. And again, like I said, my daughter calls me on it all the time. And that has a lot to do with the childhood trauma of not having a voice. And so, or being scared to voice that opinion. So I'm trying to work on becoming a better listener because by me showing my daughter that I can listen, then she could be a good listener because, kids, it's the whole by leading an example. If she's seeing me constantly cut off other people or I can constantly cut off her, she's going to do it. And she has done it. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen the bad side of my parenting and not listening because she started, having a habit of cutting me off. And I'm like, well, it's because you kind of do it too, and she sees you kind of do it to other people too. Again, she's the only child too, so she soaks up a little bit more. So yeah, and so it was it's that, and I think just knowing who I am and what I'm not, and and my flaws, some of them probably never going to go away, because we're human beings. At the same time, there are things I can still work on, and I am working on them. It could be a lifelong process. Who knows, maybe by time next year I'll be even better, or I might take it until I'm 40. I don't know. But I just wanted to touch base. I think once we start having a sense of self, that's why I think it's important for us mothers to get therapy. If you are young right now and you're watching this video, explore the world first before you have a child. But think about if you want children. Think about who you want to father your children. Think about family planning. Think about not only do you want children, but how many do you want to have. Don't get caught up in the whole nonsense of only having one child. That's not good. They need a partner and all this other stuff. Don't because you'll be having a baby just for them, and I've seen that also backfire with people. Like I said, get therapy. Try to read a lot. Talk to other mothers. I still get good advice from people that are younger than I am, and I talked to a lot of young mothers that said, they wish they could have waited until they knew who they were. I know at 20, a lot of us don't know who we are. So that's another aspect of it, and that's not throwing shade at young motherhood, but that's another aspect. And these are from people that are young mothers, and they tell me this. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my bags. I've been working late at night when my husband's working, and you're still at midnight when you get off the computer, you're still wired, so I stay up for another hour, and then I have to wake back up at 6:30. Anywho, so that's that, ladies. I just wanted to talk about how I'm coming really, and I'm in my 30s, so I know things change in how you see life as well. So that's another aspect of me having a sense of oh, this is that and this is that and what is what, and I feel like having a sense of self makes me a better mother, and I think it will make everyone just a better parent overall if they know who they are first and foremost, and what they're not and some of their flaws, and then they can work on that. So I just want to discuss that really quick with you ladies. I hope you enjoyed this video. If this is your first time coming across here, this is the Fancy to Show, Mommy Corner Mondays. Like and subscribe, of course, and have a very great week. Aloha.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.